what is happening is that the market keeps chugging along, right? Just doesn't go down. It keeps grinding higher and higher and higher. And I'm like, okay, well, at some point it'll go down maybe. Will it? I don't know. Not too smart. So here's the triple Qs. I usually go through all these. Here's the triple Qs at a brand new high today at 496.05. Okay. Triple Qs is the NASDAQ 100 where all the Magnificent Seven resides. I mean, trend is your friend. Uptrend is intact. Short-term uptrend. Here's the uptrend I'm highlighting. Medium-term uptrend. Long-term uptrend. Above its 200-day. You know, I have my support and resistance lines drawn. Above its 50-day EMA. Above its 20-day EMA. Is there anything to question? Now, I had talked to you guys about this. You guys need to pay attention to. So, the market had made a high at 486 about 17th of June. Okay, this is right here. I'm circling it, right? Then it had a little, maybe like 2% correction. Okay, and then, you know, RSI went, and people had asked me the question, from like 80 to 83 down to about 60. Now the market's making a new high, and RSI is nowhere near, relative strength index is nowhere near the old high, which was at 81, 82, right? Now it's only struggling to get back to 76. This, in my world, is called a bearish divergence. The technicals are not getting as strong as before, but the prices keeps making new high. When you see a bearish divergence, you have to be really, really careful of what's going on, okay? So that's triple Qs. Let's look at a couple of breakout stocks that I talked to you about, and I sure hope you guys jumped on it and made money with me. I also talked about the difference between Russell 2000 and S&P 500. This is the Russell 2000. See, Russell 2000 has done nothing for over a year. Just gone sideways. And this is the S&P 500. Look at the difference. You guys see the difference, right? If I take the Russell 2000, which is 2,000 smaller stocks, and put a date right here, let's take the low, because they both bottomed at the same time. So the low on Russell was 162. Today, Russell is, and that date, by the way, was November, let's say November of 2023, right? So since then, we know S&P 500 is up, what, 33%, right? And the Russell 2000 was 160, let's say. Now it's at 200. How much is that up? Nothing, literally, like 40 points, which is, I don't know, like 18%. So S&P 500 is running laps around smaller stocks because it's the 500 largest companies. You can also see the chart, right? I mean, how ridiculously uptrending this is. And this is the low, that same low, that Russell 2000 bottom. And Russell 2000 is going sideways while S&P 500 is outperforming. Well, at some point, this is going to end. What's going to happen is that once they start cutting rates, Russell 2000 is going to do very, very well. These two charts, that if you guys listen to me, last 2 power hours, I've been talking about this. So don't say, Serge, you didn't say so. I was talking about Tesla for the last 2 power hours. Please go back and check it out. I said stock is going sideways. There is not much to do. I'm very closely watching it. And what did Tesla do? I love these patterns, these setups. I'm circling it. Stock goes sideways, collecting energy, consolidating before its next move up. There was not that much catalyst really on Tesla. It's mostly technicals. And I said to you guys, I am buying the September 250 calls. It's in the previous 2 power hours. The September 250 calls, while the stock was at 185, 190, it broke out. It absolutely melted up. Stock is 250. Those calls I bought for $5 are $28 now. So enjoy it. I actually took profits today. But on any pullback now to 230, let's say, Tesla is a buy. Another one that I had talked about is AMD. AMD and Tesla look almost identical, don't it? I love these setups. Here's a cup and here's a handle. Here's resistance on AMD. And the short-term resistance was about 165, and on the downside support was at 155. So low risk trade, kind of, right? Today AMD is moving. If it breaks out, which I think it will, it's going back to 200, 220. So on this one, I'm going to trade the September $200 call options. And it's going to be a really quick move because the stock is going sideways for a long time. And so those are the setups that I look at. Those are the setups I love. And here's Apple making new highs, 225. But now, again, bearish divergence is taking place on Apple as well. It made its old high at 220, pull back. Now stock is at 225, new high. However, right? What about it? RSI is not making anywhere near new high. You guys got to watch that. And everybody's favorite, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is just kind of gathering steam. It's just going sideways. Still in an uptrend. Still above the 20-day EMA. All my support and resistance line are drawn right here. So this I can get rid of. Here's the support on NVIDIA, about 118. If that breaks, next support is about 107. Here's the uptrend. I mean, there's nothing to say. The stock just, but again, go watch Power Hour in my watch list, the last 15, 20 minutes that I talk about stock. Stock at 140, corrected to about 115. It had put a key reversal day. Since then, it's kind of going sideways while the market's making new highs, right? You guys got to pay attention to it. And look what happened to the RSI. Even if the stock now goes up and retests and makes a new high, the RSI is not going to do it. And there is bearish divergence, happening. There's a lot of bearish divergence happening on these stocks, okay? So you guys be really careful, be really nimble if you're trading these big names. And Goldman Sachs is another chart that I started adding. Do you guys see this? These are the types of patterns I like. A big up move, consolidation, next leg up will be to the upside. JP Morgan, same thing happened with that. Let me see. I have a couple of new stocks. I mean, we don't want to talk about Microsoft and all that. Yeah, let's talk about the TLT. TLT is the 20-year T-note inverse index. And we were watching this channel. It broke out of the channel. Rates are kind of going lower to sideways now. Does that mean the Fed is going to cut rates? And I think that's when the market's going to top, by the way. Okay. Microsoft is doing well. Meta, I think, is making new highs. Yep, right there. After it had a collapse on the earnings, stock is making new highs. Look, man, people are still buying the Magnificent Seven. Amazon is making new highs. Apple is making new highs. Microsoft is making new highs. Google is making new highs. I mean, look at it. I mean, trend is your friend. What do you guys want me to say? There's nothing to say. Although on the triple Qs, I am dying to buy some puts. I'm refraining myself so far, but I will. Even if I eat it a little bit initially, I will. This bearish divergence is very rarely that happens. And then when I see these, I pay really close attention to bearish divergences. On every single one of these stocks, there is also bearish divergence on top of the triple Qs. Let's go back to a couple of other charts that I'm kind of watching. Everybody asked me, GameStop, dead. Oh, we were talking about Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin surrogate micro strategy. I'll show you guys that in a minute and then answer final questions and be gone for today. Here's MicroStrategy. Here's the daily chart. I mean, this thing moves with, I told you about this. This is Michael Saylor, right? Keeps issuing convertible bonds with less than 1% interest, by the way. But people are buying it. They're all oversubscribed, and he keeps buying, he keeps buying Bitcoin with it. His company, MicroStrategy's books own about 226,000 Bitcoin now. And he's a believer, and I believe what he's saying is true about Bitcoin. I have my support lines drawn about 1,180. I will buy it. Stock was 1,700 when Bitcoin was 67,000-ish. Obviously, Bitcoin pulls back. This pulls back. So this is another surrogate that you guys can deal with. Another one is 2x Bitcoin, which I think you guys pay attention to a little bit. This is called, the symbol is BITX. This is an ETF that's 2 times. So on the downside, you get 2 times the loss. On the upside, you get 2 times the gain. And look what this one did, right? It went from 20 to 60, while Bitcoin went from 30 to 60. So Bitcoin went from 30 to 60, which is 1x, but this thing went from 20 to 60, which is 2x. So it's holding. When it goes down as well. Like today, it's down here when I'm circling at 27. When Bitcoin was at 67,000, it was about 48. Now it's at 27. Now you have to look at, you can trade this as just like Bitcoin, but you will get twice the amount of the bang for your buck on this thing. Okay. A couple other stocks I really like. I actually started paying attention to Rivian. It gapped up. Volkswagen put in another EV maker like Tesla. Volkswagen put in $5 billion into the company. I think it's going sideways after a major gap. That was the day that they announced. I think the stock is right at the 200, above the 50, above the 20. Definitely paying attention to Rivian. I'm not in yet, but I'm in Tesla and I took profits. AMD, I told you guys about. Carvana is one of my favorite stocks. We've been talking about it. If you guys go watch the Power Hours, I bought the stock at 100, hit 140. I'm on the way down, actually, at 132. I sold it. I'm telling you these things before they happen, people. So either you're going to join the party or not. Baba, I got stopped out. I really still like Alibaba for some reason. Fundamentally, I do. Not technically. Technically, it looks horrible. But fundamentally, they're buying 5 billion shares of stock every single quarter. Super microcomputer, another one that's going sideways. See all these patterns, people. These are the patterns I like. The longer they go sideways, the more violent is going to be the move up or down. You just wait, right? Don't be a stock jockey. Don't be an idiot, right? Just wait for your turn. Another stock I'm watching is First Solar. Had a massive move. We talked about it 4 weeks ago, actually, when it was breaking at 200. It went from 200 to 310. Fake breakout of the flag. You guys should know what I'm talking about now. Collapsing now. Uptrend is about 208 at 210. Stock is 222 at 210. I'll give it a crack on the upside. Pretty decent room on the upside. Yeah, I mean, look, I put these on our community page, by the way. I put the stocks on our community page. You guys can go see the list there.